Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are all having a blessed week. Well, listen, I don't know about you guys. Matter of fact, leave a comment down there below. But you know what? We'll have like 2 days of rain, and then it'll get totally clear, totally beautiful, and then they just start spraying the heck out of us with chemtrails. And they'll spray us for 2 or 3 days, and the rain will come, clear up, spray the heck out of us again. It seems like every single time we have a clear day, they're out there spraying. And today we have clouds, and they're spraying above the clouds. They never let up, and it seems to be getting worse and worse now than it was before. So listen, I want to talk to you about America and why we're still standing. You know, Proverbs 14:34, this is what it says: righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. You know what? America right now, we are on the absolute brink of collapse. Our military has been gutted. Our economy is horrible. Things are not good. And that's what I wanted to talk about. So what are our biggest problems? Well, I think number one, first and foremost, is abortion. You know, when you start harming kids, God is not going to let that slide. He's just not. And that will bring swift judgment upon a nation. And right now, America has aborted 63.5 million babies since 1973 Roe versus Wade. That is several generations. Our next biggest problem is the LGBTQ plus LMNOP community. These guys seem to be dictating everything that's going on in the state capitals and in Washington. They're like less than 1% of the population, but they literally are tangled up in everything. That, along with what's now that has morphed into all this woke garbage that's everywhere. And you know what? People that won't buy into the woke, some of them are going to jail. I know there's people that in Europe and England that have gone to jail just for sitting in a restaurant, having a conversation about how it's wrong. Somebody in the next table hear them, and you can be arrested. And that's coming here too. When you start normalizing the homosexual lifestyle, when you start making it legal, when you legalize homosexual marriage, that's what brings judgment upon a nation. Look at Sodom and Gomorrah. The Bible's full of examples. And here's one that I think is the worst of all. And that is right now giving kids hormones to change them. Puberty blockers, to change them from little boys to little girls. You know what? In California, the kid decides that. The parents can't do anything about it. The schools will start giving them those hormones and you won't even know it. Your kid comes from another state and gets to California, the California government will take charge of that kid. They'll take it into custody and start doing the transformation. You have nothing to say about it. To me, this is the grossest form of child abuse ever. It's horrible. And people, God is not going to let that slide. He's just not. So what are some of the judgments that's going to come on America because of these sins? Because of abortion, LGBTQ, normalizing the homosexual lifestyle, giving hormones to kids? What are some of the judgments? Well, first of all, when you look at ancient Israel, whenever they fell, the first thing that happens is war. You go to war. And America has been at war constantly since 9/11. We've been at war for over 20 years. And it's cost us trillions. The next one is the economy. The bugs come in, eat the crops. The economy falls. And America right now, we are looking at an inflation that is higher than anything we've ever seen in the distant past. Inflation is getting out of control, and listen, it's going to get a whole lot worse. So you have the high cost of housing, the high cost of food, gas, everything is going up. You know, I saw the other day, I saw a lady that was on and she was making 80 grand a year, and she literally was having trouble making ends meet on 80,000 a year. That's crazy. And the next one is, this is a judgment come from God. A very corrupt government, a completely corrupt government. People, Joe Biden is a plague sent by God. Our Congress, these people are so crooked, they're just, every one of them's on the take, they're a bunch of pedophiles. Our entire government is a plague sent on us by God. It's horrible. Washington, D.C. is horrible. And you saw when Trump went there, these people are so embedded, they're above the law. They're completely above the law. None of them have gone to jail or are going to go to jail. Proverbs 29:2 says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. People in America are mourning right now. They hate this government, what it's become. The next thing that happens is crime. Crime is rampant in the streets. You know, we have riots now. Nobody goes to jail. We have these people come in, flash mob a store, just take whatever they want, walk out. None of them go to jail. Nothing happens. The cities are burning. They'll burn police cars, flip them over in the street. No one gets arrested. The government officials, the mayors of the city say, yeah, just let them do it. No biggie. You know, I saw a lady in Oakland. She was talking to a reporter. She was walking around downtown. She was saying that was our Walmart. They're closed. All of our Walgreens are closed. Even Starbucks closed. People in Oakland, even the police department moved out of downtown because the crime was too high. And people, this lady, she was all upset because she has to drive miles just to buy groceries because there's no stores left. They've destroyed them all. Nothing's being done about crime. Absolutely nothing. And the next one is all these things that I've just talked about, they all bring about homelessness. Homeless across this country, and the government is doing nothing. They're bringing more of them across the border every day. Drugs. Drugs anymore. People don't even go to jail for drugs. You can go to any major city and people are sitting there with hypodermic needles shooting up right on the streets, and the cops just walk by. They don't even care. You look at the streets of our cities now, people are walking around like zombies. This fentanyl, and I forget what this other drug is called. It's a flesh-eating drug. These people that'll go to shoot up fentanyl, and all of a sudden, man, this flesh-eating drug will just eat their arm off. I mean, it's horrible. Government's doing nothing. The next thing that happens is you're invaded. In ancient Israel, the last thing was always invasion. And people, we are being invaded across our southern border. There are people coming across our southern border that are from all over the Middle East. All these countries in the Middle East, that's where they're coming from. The other day they said that there was a notorious gang, worse than MS-13, coming from Venezuela. And they've been coming over the border. There's not families anymore. There's a few families, but mostly it's young men between the ages of 20 and 35. Some countries in South America have literally emptied their prisons and sent those people up to America. Everything that I've listed above, everything we just talked about, the United States government is doing absolutely nothing. Texas, good for Texas. They're trying to seal that border. Ron DeSantis is, he'll take anybody that comes to Florida, he'll ship them off to New York. There's a few governors that are trying, but for the most part, the government in Washington, D.C. is doing absolutely nothing about any of these things that I've just talked about. Not one single thing. They could care less. They're on a mission to destroy this country. It's all by design. So on the other side of the coin, America's doing all these things wrong, but on the other side of the coin, what does America have going for it? What are some of the things that America is doing right? In other words, all these things I just listed, their judgments come from God, but we're still standing. We're still standing. There's still hope. So this is what America has going for it. Number one, millions upon millions of born-again Christians live here. Millions upon millions of born-again Christians live right here in America, and they are about the Lord's work. Remember Abraham? Remember when God was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah? Abraham whittled him down from 50 righteous people to 10. He said, if I can just find 10 righteous people, will you not destroy it? God said, yeah, if you can find 10. Well, Abraham figured, well, let's see. My son-in-law Lot and his wife, his 2 daughters and their husbands, there's 6. Lot's 2 daughters are 7, 8. Surely I can find 2 more. But he couldn't. Well, that's one of the reasons America is still standing, because we have millions and millions of born-again Christians that are still doing the Lord's work. The next one is missionaries. America sends out thousands, all the churches across America send out thousands of missionaries all across the world every year. America prints thousands upon thousands of Bibles and distributes them across the world every year. The next one is foreign aid. America, the government, and the churches, they spend billions feeding and clothing poor people all over the world. And last but not least, and the thing that I think is holding us together more than anything else, and this is getting iffy, and that is Israel. America is Israel's big brother. We have always protected them. We supply them with arms. We send them billions of dollars in aid every year. We supply them with weapons. And this is the biggest reason that America is still standing. If we ever stop supporting Israel, we're toast. Right now, in all the cities all across America, all the major cities, people are protesting in support of the Palestinians, even though they're the ones that attacked Israel. All the young people all support the Palestinians and the people in Gaza. Well, this is what it says about that in Genesis 12, 2 and 3. God's talking about Abraham and Israel. And I will make thee a great nation. I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. I will bless them that bless thee, and I will curse them that curse thee. In thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. So God puts it right there in writing. That's a promise from God. If you bless Israel, I'll bless you. And I got a feeling that's one of the only reasons we're still standing. So is there any hope? Is there any hope for America? And the answer is yes. God is our only hope. However, God requires a couple things. In order for America to bounce back and recover from all this wickedness that is in our country from coast to coast, God requires a couple things. And it's found in 2 Chronicles 7:14. This is what God says. If my people, which are called by my name, shall, number one, humble themselves, pray, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, I will forgive their sin, and I will heal their land. People, right now, America, we are on the razor's edge right now. It could go either way. Our national sin is so great. Our country is absolutely deteriorating before our eyes. We're the biggest bankrupt nation the earth has ever seen. We're just about ready to go over the edge. And if we don't turn this around, we're going to be done. That's all there is to it. We're going to be done. So anyway, I know that's kind of a bummer to hear, but guys, listen. This is one thing I want you to take away, and this is one of the reasons why I'm making this video. People, listen to me. The government doesn't care one bit about you. The government doesn't care about your family. The government doesn't care about your job. The government doesn't care if you're fed or not. The government could care less. And you know, when it came to this right here, I don't trust this government to put anything in me. Nothing. People don't trust the government. They could care less about you. Anyhow, I just want to give you something to think about. Heaven or hell, you choose. Just remember, once you take your last breath, it's a done deal.